Hello, people. First of all, yes, this is the same shirt you saw me in last time. That will be something that will probably happen every once in a while because, A, I don't have that many clothes. And also, too, I like this shirt. I'm trying out my new camera here, a camera from China, even though most things are made in China anyway. Like, it's actually got like Chinese, uh, and I don't mean to say Chinese. No, it has like CCP because everything in China, isn't everything in China CCP, like they have control over it, right? So, you know, for all I know, I have a communist Chinese uh, camera in my house. So I'm doing my best to, like, minimize what it has access to. And speaking of which, like it just started making me think. I'll give the left this. You're right to fear the far right to some degree. There are actual, like, horrible racists out there. There are people that would do people harm. Uh, and I fully agree that there are dangers to that because there are different factions of it. Like, I spent many years on the website Gab, basically trying to learn things and like understand the different factions of these people because, how else do you solve a problem without, like, you have to get both sides of an argument, for instance, in order to speak about it, for one. Like, I'm surprised, like, there's so many left-wing pundits, for instance, or social media people, they have absolutely no fucking idea what they're talking about half the time. They just go off this, like, just dumbed down version of, like, ooh, scary right-wing people, and so they'll lump anyone into it, right? So, like, even the Trump people, there are similarities. Like, if you do research history, there are similarities of the right to that, but there are stark differences, right? So the same could be said about the left. And I can't believe that we're, as a country, not giving a shit about communism. It's almost as if, we're actually enacting communism and we don't even fucking realize it. We call it liberalism, leftism. Like the human rights thing can dip into a mayor's bank account and just tax them. That's like straight out of communist China. Like, why are we, like, Trudeau Senior? He had this affinity for the communist Chinese. His son did. You know, say like, oh, I appreciate the basic dictatorship of China. So you can be a dictator. Yeah, he likes that part. Like, so, I mean, there are certain aspects that I would agree that the right wing does have similarities to National Socialists, the Nazis of World War II. And the thing is that there are many things that could be said and connected to communism with the left of today. So why are we not criminalizing that? Why are we listening to the communist people? And I'm sorry, but, like, from what I've seen, communism is the most atrocious human scourge. Like, from what it's done and the types of torture and disgusting ways that they would kill people, that we don't even like learning about this was a total shock to me. Like, why in the fuck have we constantly been focusing on the National Socialists and not what came just before that, which was the communists? They were horrendous. Like, I had to stop watching a show. I had to stop watching a show. I was trying to, like, just learn a bit more. I had to stop watching it because it drives me nuts that our country is literally like enacting communist things, and then we're pretending like the worst thing in the world is, like, the right wing in the States too. It's not. Then the right wing in the States is a far cry from far right. But they're lumping, these fucking communists are basically lumping it all together to try and demonize people. Like, and they're the ones that are like aiming at a fucking cultural revolution, which ends up killing half the fucking population or whatever percentage it ends up needing to get rid of because of whatever reason. Like, that's the end goal, right? Like, oh, you're on the left, you think you're about love? No, you're literally on the side of mass murder people. That's what you're on the side of. So, I mean, like, and I get, like, racism is bad, but, like, That and compared to fucking mass murder people, I don't know. I don't know. I'd say that's a far shot of danger, right? Like, I mean, some people, like, really, when you think about it, what do they want? Like, I'm talking about the modern day far right of today of this country. What do they want? They want the country to themselves, and that's labeled white nationalism, right? I don't think there's actually any such people as white anyway. But that's another topic. But the worst thing that they want is for the foreigners to leave, the foreigners of the colony, and from the foreigners that are different than the colony, like the mass migration, especially that has been happening. That's been their subject. And what's the subject matter of Antifa? What's the subject matter of the far left, the communists? Fucking mass murder of their opponents. Eventually, that's the goal. Eventually, they say they talk all this shit about how this is for this, it's for that. Really, that's the end goal. What happens in communism eventually? Now there are. I would call what happened in South Africa like a soft communism coup, because like that was Mandela was an underground communist, and you know they used, like, instead of an invading force like it was in Russia, they used like the grievance population, which were the Africans, and they used what was happening to them as the fulcrum to subvert the people out of their government. And eventually they're trying to take the land, which is a communist thing, like the end of private property. And the same thing's happening here in Canada. They're using the grievance population, which is First Nations, and they're taking away private property rights right now. Like the next thing, and they're trying, and the same thing as I don't know if it's the, like, I'm not that good at the history part. I don't know if it was the Bolshevik Revolution or whatever, the one that was in Russia. Um, you know, they criminalized anti-Semitism because, hey, ironically enough, they were mostly Jewish. So, like, they basically were doing the same things that are happening now here in Canada. Like, where they're criminalizing questioning it. They're criminalizing questions. So they've turned the grievance populations into the invading force, but it's really actually the internal force now. And maybe in a way that's what's happening with the different identities, like LGBT. Like they use that and they weaponize it. The same thing. Like those people are like they feel it's a life or death struggle now. So like you have to attack the right wing, which is the enemy of left or communism. Like, I don't know, man. Like, all I know is that, like, I was just thinking of that, and I'm like, well, maybe I should make a video about it, because this is eventually what I'm going to do. It's whatever Fresque, right? It's I will be getting into music soon too. New camera. It'll be fun, hopefully. But still, I just wanted to touch on that. Like guys, and I know to some leftists, they're probably like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't even know about communism. I just want to support this or that. Well, do you even look into like the backgrounds of the things that you're supporting? Like, BLM was Marxist. They admitted they were Marxist. And they want to like eradicate the natural family unit and stuff like that. Like outlandish stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with Black Lives Mattering, right? And by the way, if this ever like says hell shine behind me, I like to prefer it says heel shine. Okay. So I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. Communism fucking sucks, right? And like I don't think like and no, I don't support like the excessive racist bullshit on the right either. I've never have. That's why I created Second Nations. And that's the one that makes sense, by the way, because the First Nation came first. We are second. Um, the other one doesn't make sense. But like I did say, go ahead, go ahead, and it just doesn't make sense. It's all, like, what are you second of? Because you're the first of the colony, right? Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna get used to having these Hello Sunshine testimonials, maybe. We'll see. It's whatever. Fresque.